This one is something that makes everybody who starts learning this program nuts. I know it made me nuts, and I know I've heard from a lot of you that it makes you nuts. And it's not because the program's broken or there's anything wrong with it, it's just the way that this thing works. If you have a nice smooth surface here, and say for instance this was the corner of a car, and I wanted to break open a spot in here to put a headlight in, it would make sense that I delete these faces, right? I have this beautiful smooth surface and I'm really happy with that, and I come in here and I pick these and I say, okay, that's where my headlight's going to be, and I delete it. And everybody freaks out because, oh my God, there's this big horrible crease running through the model and it's ruined and the software's terrible and Matt's an awful person and Tom hates me and all this kind of stuff. No, none of that's true. They're all good people and the software works great. The thing is, you just stopped too early and started freaking out. All you have to do is pick these edges and hit the extrude button. It'll add an extra row of edges, and you'll notice that all of your smooth goodness comes back, and you can alt drag your headlight in, move your manipulator, go to your scale, and you have a nice opening with all the stuff that's maintained. That's how you get rid of creases. The other thing that causes creases is if I turn on my points and I were to unweld these points, actually I'd have to grab this and unweld this. Let's see, this edge. Okay, I just unwelded that edge so that basically these points are no longer coincident. And what happened is it just threw a whole bunch of creases through the model for the exact same reason that we had before. There's an unresolved inside corner here, and there's an unresolved inside corner here, and there's an unresolved inside corner there. There's only two pieces of the equation that T-Splines needs to calculate smooth stuff. Okay, I can only go here and here, here and here, here and here, here and here. It's not able to complete the calculation. If you run into a situation, and this happens all the time, where you're knitting a couple of things together and you all of a sudden get this big horrible crease running through the model. I've massively exaggerated this. In most cases, this is what ends up happening, is these points are coincident or close to coincident, and you're sitting there scratching your head going nuts trying to figure out why in the world, where are these creases coming from? Use your drag select and start looking at your points. You'll notice in the heads-up display, there's one vert here, there's one vert there, there's one there, there's one there. Everything makes sense. There's one there. Well, there's got to be a problem somewhere. If I drag select here, you'll notice, oh, there's two verts there. So there's two verts that are stacked on top of each other that aren't welded, which is what's causing this crease. If I pick those two and either hit the weld button or the Z key, which is the hotkey for weld, it sticks those together. All of a sudden the calculation in 3 directions can be completed and you get a nice smooth transition. All of your creases go away. All is right in the 3D world again.